Who am I?
Most of the people
I am
you kill
him.
in the same
This
room.
is it.
This is a wild tour story that we did down in Jackson State with the youngsters back in like '93, I think it was. One of my favorite. I have a lot of tour stories, but one I can't remember just off the top of my head is down in college, Stu Pastoreways. We were doing a show, and we did the show with the youngsters, little hip hop group back in the day. And we're in college, they're younger than us. And we're backstage, freestyling, having fun. And seeing that they're younger than us, they wanted to have a water fight. And they went and got a bunch of water balloons, man, and a bunch of water bottles. And they came backstage, they hit us with the water bottles, and now we're throwing water bottles at them. And we flooded the backstage area, man, with the water bottle. They had to separate us because we was having so much fun, and it had gotten to the point where a couple of people was about to fight because they got hit with the real water bottle because it was their crew against our crew. But that was a great time, man. That was a fun time. Just a bunch of little kids having fun, even though we was, like I said, we was in college, but it was like a bunch of kids, man, having fun backstage with a bunch of water. Terrible. Some of my tour stories, that probably would be the water one would probably be the wildest one, man. We didn't really, when I was with Slum, we didn't really do too much craziness. You can't have a shady promoter with R.J. Rice Sr. He's not having any shady promoters. But I'll tell you a wild tour story when I was in the group, the Jrunk Unklz, me, Tony Baines, and Lid Law. We had a show at the Subterranean. I think we were opening up a Slum Village hip hop club in Chicago, Illinois, up north, and we think we were opening up a Slum Village. And on this day, Lid decided to take mushrooms before the show. Decided to take shrooms. He had never did shrooms before a show before. Tony Baines did, because Tony could do that. He had the NPC. He didn't do as much as me and Lid. So Lid decided to take mushrooms, and we smoking weed and drinking. We go on stage and do in every show, Lid had to have a 5-minute comedy session where he had to tell jokes. Well, because he's high on the shrooms, this comedy session goes about 15 minutes. By the time the joke is over with, Lid is halfway butt naked. He then took off his shirt, he took off his pants. He's on stage telling some joke, and we just look at him like, I was pissed off. Because out of the Jrunk Unklz, they were the two that was like, I'll give you a perfect example of the Uncles. It was the Harlem Globetrotters. You have certain people in the Harlem Globetrotters that clown, and then you have certain people in the Harlem Globetrotters that don't. Tony and Lid clowned on stage. I didn't. So I'm on stage. I'm the business guy. I'm on stage. And I was looking like, man, I cannot believe. And I'm mad at Tony because I'm like, that he could not handle these mushrooms, man. You let him have these mushrooms before the show. So yeah, that was probably one of the wildest shows I had, man. So yeah, dealing with those two crazies, Tony Baines and Lil Law, peace to my bros, man. Man, the Jrunk Unklz came together. I was a solo artist at this time, and I ran into Tony Baines at the Double Door, which is a hip hop club in Chicago. And Baines was on stage performing. People don't know Tony Baines, part of a group called the Spillaneys, a well-known group here in Chicago. And me and Tony became a group. And we went over to Ty Hill's house, and Ty Hill had Lid over there rhyming. Tony and Lid hit it off from the time they met each other. And they called me one day. Tony was at the studio with Lid. He was like, hey, man, you can come by the studio. We working. I want you to hear something. And they played a song for me, Leave, with this Michael Jackson sample that Tony Baines did. And we recorded the song, and it blew everybody's mind. And that was the beginning of the Jrunk Unklz. Tony Baines, Lil Law, vice versa. We performed at every hip hop venue in Chicago without a single, without a song on the radio. It was purely off of the strength of our live show and the energy of our live show that we were able to do all these shows here in Chicago, man. I always say the Jrunk Unklz is the dopest group in Chicago that never made it, that a lot of people don't know about. If the social media was around during that time, oh man, we'd have been superstars. And he would have went viral for going butt naked on the mushrooms. Yo, what's going on, man? This is your boy Vice Verse, aka Vice. You're checking out 24/7 HH. Tune in.